guys, this is Jenn and Julien. You are listening to episode 36 of X Appeal. All right, so Julien, you didn't sleep very well last night because...
I have old man problems.
Tell me.
I have old man problems. Nothing. After the break, I went back to boxing the way I usually do. And mid-session, I crumbled on the ground because my lower back just started hurting. And then after a week, now it's radiating in my glute. So... my dad's a spine surgeon, so I grew up hearing that stuff. Like I grew up hearing him tell his friends or patients or people over the phones, like, oh, if that's you have a sciatica, or you might have either a pinched nerve, or I think it's a disc, basically a disc in your lower back that kind of gets out of place and then it starts touching the nerve. So that's what happens. So.
That is, I think I've had like a little bout of sciatica during pregnancy, and that was awful. So, oh yeah. And it's like, and it comes and goes.
Go away. It comes and goes.
But it's kind of unpredictable. So
I know. I've looked at some stretches to do, and then it's complicated in the US because I want to go see this. There's this one surgeon in LA that I've seen a few times that he's really good. It's like you can't just go see him. I have to see my primary doctor first. So I made an appointment with her today, and then I'm gonna go tomorrow get my primary care physician, and then she has to send me a referral to go see the surgeon. So then I get my referral, but I've already scheduled my appointment. That way I don't have to wait. And then you have to go get your MRI, but to go get an MRI, you need to get the referral as well. So just everything's referral.
Aye.
Otherwise you pay if you want to be fully covered or something, you need referrals for everything.
Welcome to United States.
I know.
Aren't you happy to be an official citizen now?
Yeah. I actually sent my passport application yesterday, finally.
Oh, good.
Yep. Because I didn't realize I can't travel.
What do you mean?
Well, they took my green card, right? So my green card is what I used to come to the US.
Oh,
so I can leave.
Oh shit.
Huh?
I said, oh shit. So that means no more tropical vacays for you.
Well, I can go back to Europe. I can use my French passport, but I'll have an issue coming back in the US because they'll be like,
where's your passport, bro?
Yeah, where's your, you can't use your French passport to come here.
Yeah.
So, hopefully in 3 weeks.
So there's a new member of the Lahmers Keller household.
Oh, you got another dog?
No.
A cat? Oh, you got a cat.
Nope. His name is Frank.
Okay. A turtle.
Nope. And he is a fiddle leaf fig tree.
Oh my God. You got me all excited for nothing.
Well, no, it's not nothing, because let me tell you, I think it's going to be tougher to take care of this fucking tree than it is my own son.
Wait, it's a fig tree, you said?
It's a fiddle leaf fig.
Fiddle leaf.
So okay. Fiddle because the leaves look like fiddles.
I don't know what a fiddle is.
The most fickle motherfuckers I could have bought. I didn't realize that this was going to be a nightmare, but apparently it's going to be, because as soon as I posted that I got a new fiddle leaf fig, all these people started coming out of the woodwork. I got so many DMs. They were like, ooh, mine died after 5 days, or ooh, you better spray water on it every month, or the pores are going to clog and it's going to wilt up and die, or water it every week. Don't water it every week. I don't know what to do anymore. And I've discovered there's this underground network of fiddle leaf fig owners who probably take pictures of their tree and touch themselves to it at night. I don't really know, but it's I'm a member of a new family. So.
And is it going to make figs?
Do you want to know how much this plant costs? It does not make figs. It is not fruit bearing. I don't even get anything out of this.
So why'd you get it?
Because it looks pretty.
Oh, and you say, I'm assuming it's not within the $100 type of trees.
No.
How much does it cost?
Higher.
How much?
Just guess.
500.
Higher.
800.
Yeah.
You spend $800 on a tree that is going to die next week?
Oh, we don't know that. I'm going to do everything in my living power to keep this tree thriving. It even has a little soil gauge that turns white if the soil's too dry.
I feel
and
like
there's a whole plant doctor team that you get to call in case of like emergency.
really?
See a brown leaf, yeah.
Oh wow.
And they're always on standby.
Does the tree need health insurance?
It's already full coverage.
It's already full covered. Yeah, I hope so for $800.
Yeah.
Was that EDD money? That sounds like it would be. That's the type of shit you buy with EDD money, honestly. It's like
it is.
It was.
It's alive. And it needs like full indirect sunlight.
Oh, so, how simple.
Yeah.
How simple. Wait, did you get EDD while you were pregnant? I guess so, because you can't.
I'm trying. I still haven't gotten a dime of money.
Since when? When did you apply?
I applied months ago.
Like during COVID?
Yeah.
But you were still kind of employed, no?
I mean, so I don't get any money from my company. All the money that I do get for leave comes from the state. And they have been total assholes because they need all this paperwork that I filled out already. And I submitted it and everything was fine. Then they rejected me and said they needed one form for my doctor to sign. So she signed it. I sent it back and hopefully that will be enough, but it's not like they asked for any routing and account information. So I guess I'll be getting checks.
Yeah, I guess you might get checks. Because for EDD, is it EDD that does it?
Yeah.
Oh no, they'll send you a card.
What do you mean a card?
You're gonna get like a debit card from Bank of America, and they'll deposit money in that account every 2 weeks or whatever. Yeah. Because when during COVID and I wasn't employed, that's what they do. They send you a debit card, and every 2 weeks you get that allowance in your debit card, and then you can use a debit card to pay, or you can just go to the bank, get the cash out, and then deposit in your own account.
I did not know that. Okay, well I'll be on the lookout for was it a Visa card, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's like but the one thing about this card that sucks is one day I made a purchase with it, and then I got a refund on the purchase.
Yeah,
and for some reason, that card, if you get refunds on it, it blocks it, and then you can't use it. Blocked. So I remember I wasn't able to use it for like 2 weeks because I would go to Bank of America, and Bank of America is like, well, it is a Bank of America card, but it's actually more of a government thing. So you have to call the government, and then you try to call the government, and you're on hold for 8 hours.
Yeah.
So
can I just make one observation? It is so very clear that both of us are doing this podcast in our respective kitchens.
Oh yeah, it's true. But you change your thing.
Listen, I can't close the blackout shades that I have in the living room now to block the heat from being backlit because of fucking Fiddle leaf fig. So I had to change the entire operation of this podcast.
Oh wow!
In my home.
I know. Yeah, and that's the only place where I get direct light. So if not, I'm like this. It's like half shaded.
Apartment living. Okay,
so we should call that tree Ethan 2.
God.
Ethan 2.
Ethan 2.
Yeah.
He's the other child that I'll have. So this is it for me.
You know, I try to have one plant, and I just don't like it. So I have a cactus.
Yeah.
Big cactus.
Like the driest.
Yeah. And I water it honestly, whenever I remember, which is once every 2 months. And so far, it's still good.
Yeah. So you would actively have to try to kill this thing for it to die out.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let's get to what we are here for, which is...
I'm totally unprepared for this one, by the way. So what's the topic?
It's all sometimes those make the best podcasts, right? Yeah. The topic, Julien, in case you had forgotten, is can you genuinely be happy for an ex? And I thought about this for two reasons.
I feel like your answer is no.
Well, before we hop into it,
the answer is no.
The reason that I thought about this, I hate whenever you're like, is it yes or is it no? Like it's like some black and white, like no, just like tell me now, is it yes or is it a no? You can't answer. Life doesn't work like that, Julien. Life does not work in yeses and nos and black and white, and there's many gray areas. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I thought about this because I recently found out that my ex-husband has had a baby with his new wife.
Okay.
And I obviously, like, a bunch of feelings came up. I was like, okay, not that I wanted to have a baby with him, because I definitely actively tried not to have a baby with him because I knew it was not going to last.
Yeah.
But it definitely brought to mind, like, I'm when did I get a divorce? Like 2013. So I'm almost like 10 years out from a divorce, yet I'm still not happy for him. Like, you feel like, okay, well, that's great. Good for you. Congratulations. What's done is done. And it's been 10 years, right? So you think that those feelings would have diminished. Not for me, because and this is why I think that you can be happy for an ex, but it's very case dependent. It's dependent on a couple of different things. But I was just thinking to myself, selfishly, I'm like, this guy doesn't deserve to have a new baby. He doesn't deserve the happiness of a new baby.
And that's so shitty to you.
Demon talking, but so I think it's dependent on a couple of things. The way the relationship ended, and maybe a small part of it, how long it's been since you were together. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think like there's a sense of like when somebody says, can you be happy for your ex? And if somebody's like, no, I'm not, there's like this, everybody assume it comes out of jealousy. It says, no, I'm not, because I'm like jealous and I miss him or her.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't seem like that's your case. It seems like you just don't like the person. You don't want him to be happy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a fuck you. You don't deserve this.
Right.
But that to me tells me you might need to be working on yourself a little bit.
Are you suggesting some therapy?
Yeah. I think like you have unresolved issues with that.
We've been there, and we've done that. Everything. Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, even if somebody is like shitty to you and whatever, I feel like if you do the work for you to just kind of get over it.
No, but here's the thing, Julien. You don't have to get over it. You don't have to get over hatred. I think that, like, can't we just hate some people? Like, can't we just be forever bitter or forever? We can have those feelings. And for those,
but like, that gives you cancer.
Not really. No, it doesn't.
Of course, negative stuff, all that hatred, it gets stuck in you, and then it just like makes you a bitter person.
Yeah, but then I feel like if I were to get over that, like, just genuine disgust when I think about him, I would take a big piece of who I am away. Like, I just feel like this is a part of it. I can hate some people, Julien. I can hate.
Oh, so another way to see that is you can be thankful for that, because
at the same time, also
you're who you are.
Yes. At the same time, also thankful for the experience. And
it taught you how to find in a man, and now you have a great man with a baby. So maybe thanks to his assholeness, you got whatever you're at. So basically, you owe him.
Ooh. Just my blood.
Basically, you owe him. And if I were you, I would send him a thank you note with maybe like some flowers and chocolate, and be like, you taught me so much. Thank you so much. Now
I need to therapize that response out of my body. Every time is your sciatica act up again?
Yeah, my sciatica is acting up in my nose. I can't believe I'm going to be one of those guys.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe that's going to be me.
Yeah. Hey, just be thankful that you still have your hair. And
well, I take medicines for it.
Yeah. But that was what, preventative. It's like I get Botox, but preventative Botox. It's like I got the wrinkles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're actively losing your hair. Like, you're just doing it.
I was. I mean, we're drifting in a whole other subject, but I don't mind sharing. I was, and then I was on this French show, and it's my mom one day who looks at the TV, and then I was next to her, and she's like, "What the fuck is happening to your hair?" And I was like, "Huh?" And then I went to see this my hair guy back in the day in Lyon, and he looks at the top of my head, and he's like, "It's thinning out, my man." I was like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah." And does nobody ever told you? I was like, "No." He's like, "Yeah, because people don't want to say anything." So,
or it didn't happen. Do you have pictures of when you were on the French show?
Yeah, but it's the same as what I am now, but it isn't like you could see the hairline kind of receding compared to what I had when I was like 20, right?
Okay.
So then I got on like finasteride.
What's it called?
Finasteride. It's like the generic for Propecia.
Oh shit. Okay.
But like I figured, like I'm sure you can ask Jared about this. Like I didn't realize that like literally 70 to 80% of men are on that medicine. Literally everybody is.
I heard you lose your sex drive when you
1%.
What 1%?
People like lose their sex drive or like can't even get hard. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that why bald dudes? Who said this?
Bald dudes are horny.
Was it my friend Lauren? No, or did we talk about this in the podcast? I'm losing it. That bald men have a bigger sex drive. Have you heard this?
Maybe it's because nobody dates them, so they're actually just horny.
But you think about how many bald dudes are in porns? A lot.
Yeah, I mean, also, I don't know, because like if you look at like everybody who's kind of juicing ends up being bald for some reason, and I'm sure that juicing makes your sex drive higher as well. So, like, is he shredded, the bald guy in the porn that you watch?
I don't watch. I'm not thinking.
Yeah, you're the one saying that.
Porn that I've watched. I'm just saying, like in general, like I've seen a lot of like bald men porn stars. Like it was even depicted on Sex and the City, like the older episodes. Like she hooked up with a, I think he was a penis model or something like that. Slash porn star at a porn convention. Samantha hooked up with him, and he was bald. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, a lot of guys that I know that are on this medicine have no issues. I don't have any issues either.
Yeah. All right. Well,
my sex drive gets more affected by my daily mood, or like if I feel like I have shit to do, or if I feel stressed about something. That will. I have a higher sex drive when I had like a great day, or like I booked something. Life is good. That's usually. Yeah. But if there's even a hint of something bothering me or my mind is thinking, as I get older, especially, it definitely drops. Yeah. But anyways, your ex, huh?
Mine's coming back. Like I had.
Jared must be happy after a year.
Yeah. We're doing really well. Like it's been on a daily basis again.
Great. Yeah. Wait, like your vagina is all healed up? Oh no, you didn't do the vagina thing.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just the hormones and whatever. And now that I'm like losing weight, I feel a little more confident in my body. So maybe more willing to give it up.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did you still use that coconut oil? Like, did you buy more?
No. And by the way, I never used the coconut oil. I never used it. I never used it.
Just straight spit.
I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about that. Jesus.
Listen, anyway, I still hope that he knows that I'm the one who helped him out in this situation.
He'll never know. Tell him. He'll never know that.
Whatever. He's my guy. He's my bro. I'm glad I helped the bro out.
Yeah, you guys have never met yet, but
no, he was nice. I spoke to him on the phone. He was great. Yeah. Actually, if you ever, I mean, not that he thinks about it, but I'm sure if he ever asks you what happened to me, tell him we found out. We figured out what happened. Because I'm sure every night he asks you, "Hey, how's Julien doing?"
How's Julien doing? Yeah.
Yeah. So you can let him know now.
That's the question. I'm like, why are you so interested?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just a medical,
Right. So back to why.
Let's get back to our topic.
I know. How did that happen? So yeah, can you be happy for an ex? I don't know. Is this something that we agree on? I feel like it depends on what kind of closure you had. Like if you had like a really shitty ending with somebody, I don't know if there's a way that you can be happy.
I think, listen, it depends on what end you are of the who ended, right? So like if you were madly in love with your ex or whatever, and then they broke up with you because they were over you, or for any reason they broke up with you, it might be harder for you as a person to be genuinely happy for them. This makes sense. But like me, when I think of my relationships, I've considered that I had 3 long relationships, 3 very like actual, you're the only person, that's it, right? Dating someone for 2 months to me is not considered like a relationship. And and out of those 3, the first one we ended because I had to move to Canada to go study, and we're 17, and that was my first girlfriend, first love, and it just didn't work. And eventually she got a new boyfriend. They traveled the whole world. Super happy for her. I could literally be with her right now in my house and nothing would happen. Like I got no interest whatsoever. And like sometimes she messaged me actually recently because she's a sexologist now in France. And she is about to start her own podcast, and I saw that I had one with you, and she's like, hey, I just had some questions. So anyways, I was very happy to hear from her. And then my second girlfriend, I had to end it. That was quite of a toxic relationship. I found out she was married like 2-3 years ago. Couldn't care less. Super happy for her. I'm like, great, you find someone. That's amazing.
But how long has it been since you guys were together?
About 10 years.
Okay.
And then the last one, same. The last one, it ended because I fucked up. Because again, it was a kind of a very toxic one. And I think right after me, she got literally like a year later. She got pregnant from her ex, and they started like having a baby. She's in Montreal now. And honestly, even a year later, when she kind of got pregnant, I was like, oh, I'm so glad that she moved on and that she actually got what she wanted in a relationship, because I wasn't giving it to her. So I've never felt that thing for an ex where I'm like, I'm not happy for them. I have felt that hate that you mentioned for an ex-friend of mine who fucked me over. Okay. And him, like, as much as I don't think about it,
something good happened to him, you'd be like, still fuck that guy, right?
I'm kind of like, life's unfair. Like, you don't deserve this shit.
Right. And that's okay to live with that. You don't have to go to therapy to work that out of your system.
No, but I mean, you need to go to therapy for other stuff too. You have so many.
I feel like it's good to hold on to some anger.
Definitely not. There's one thing. That's how you create a murder.
No, it's motivating. I feel like if you
to murder someone, yeah.
No, listen to this. The anger that I felt for my ex-husband motivated me to leave the marriage in the first place, get a job move to New York without having a full-time set position, full-time job in New York, and set up a new life there. Like, that was a motivating force in my life. So I do think that, like, you can hold on to some anger and for it to be productive instead of something that's going to give you cancer, as you say.
No, I hear you, but I feel like in terms of where you are now, to me, it's weird that it made you angry all this time ago. Like, if you were living in the dump, homeless, and you see your ex thriving after he fucked you over, I would understand it, but you're not. You have a healthy child. You have a partner that's, well, a husband. I guess that's you guys are living together. You have a good career. Like,
everything is roses for me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sure. But just because I'm living fully happy doesn't mean I can still not say fuck that guy for real. Like, he made my life miserable for about 3 years, and I actively chose not to have his child. Like, there was a conversation. He came back like one weekend from visiting a friend who had a baby, and he was like, you know what? We should have a kid. And I was like, ha. And I stayed on my birth control without him knowing about it, because I knew that this was not going to be a long-term thing. And I knew that eventually this marriage was going to end. So why would I want to complicate things by bringing a child into the equation? So even after actively deciding not to have a child with him, I still say, fuck you, after finding out that he now has a baby with his new wife. And yeah, I mean, that's definitely coming from like an angry place, and I'm okay with that.
But do you think people can grow? Maybe, he was just a piece of shit with you, and that made him realize that's not how you can act, and that made him a better person now in a relationship.
You know what I think it is? I think it's like when I found out that he got married.
Yeah.
Again, no reaction. Good for you, whatever. I think it's because bringing a baby into the world and something that's so innocent, to me, is maybe infuriating to think about, because this kid, knowing all the bullshit that this kid is probably going to have to see in this marriage, is infuriating to me, because I know what he's like. I know what he's like to be in a relationship with. I know the toxicity.
So you don't think he's changed?
I don't think he's changed at all. No, because it's happened to 2 wives before this third one. This is his third marriage.
In French, we say jamais deux sans trois. So we say never 2 without 3.
Wow.
So it's like it didn't work out the first time, didn't work out the second time. Third one.
Jamais deux, c'est toi.
Jamais deux, sans trois.
Sans toi.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, if you fuck up once, you fuck up twice. It could be in anything. Like, oh, you fuck up your pasta the first time, you fuck up, and then the third one, but jamais deux, sans trois.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Mm-hmm. Never two without three.
Exactly.
That's true. That's true too. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
And how did Jared feel about you being jealous and angry about your ex?
Not jealous. Jealous? Oh my god. Oh my god. No. It's not jealousy. It's just straight up anger. And
how did you feel?
I mean, he could tell that I didn't really get into it with him, because again, I didn't want him to think that like, ooh, like I was sad that I was missing out on that life. But I did tell him, I was like, he doesn't deserve a baby. Like, he doesn't deserve like a happy baby. Like, he just, you know, he deserves, I mean, listen, like he has 2 kids already who are great kids. But to have a third with like a new wife and like all the happiness that comes with it, I don't think he deserves it. I really don't think that he's lived a life that deserves the happiness and joy that a baby can give.
I mean, you just said his 2 other kids are great. So maybe he's a shitty husband, but a good father.
I would say he's a great father.
Okay, then don't feel bad for the kid.
No, I do feel bad for the kid, because those kids were witness to all of his toxicity. And that's why I say, like, this
his
kid
toxicity in relationships?
To what?
His toxicity in relationships?
Yes.
Okay. So listen, my dad's an amazing person, but he's shitty at relationships. And I turned out pretty fine. Like he had a baby with his first, we'll say, wives. Then he had me with his second, who actually, my mom was my sister's babysitter.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So my dad left with a babysitter, had me, and then he left my mom. My mom they had a shitty relationship, and then now he has a wife. He has another baby who's 5 years old with a woman who's 20, who's like 20 years younger than him. And me seeing all that and seeing both how it affected my mother and how my dad lives his life, as much as I love him. And I think he's always been overall, like, obviously there's no such thing as the perfect dad, because there's always stuff that, that you wish you had or whatever. But, that actually helped me out into realizing what I don't want in my relationship.
But then again, let me also ask you this. You think there's no residual damage that you might have experienced after seeing all the relationships that your dad has?
Well, no, I mean, it showed me a different way of how I should be treating my partner. That's definitely that's the positive. And it showed me that, like, if you keep being in a certain if you keep behaving in a certain way constantly with women and stuff like that, you end up at a certain age alone, or you end up at a certain age with not necessarily the person that you would have wanted, because you were whatever, all that stuff. But it has definitely affected me as well in terms of, like, whatever. I look at my views on marriage, for example.
Yeah.
That's the result of just relationships and stuff, huh?
Okay. But so you're a very, what I would describe you as emotionally intelligent. Like, you're very good at analyzing your own emotions and where they come from. And I think this podcast maybe has helped you along with that. It's definitely helped me along with that to, like, figure out where some issues come from. A lot of people aren't like that.
No, definitely.
A lot of people just have the damage that manifests itself like later on in their lives, and they don't know where it comes from. But it comes from a place like that, like watching your parents like have failed relationship after failed relationship, or seeing the fighting in the household, etc. And that's why I feel horrible for that kid, because I know what she's in for. And, like, hopefully his wife will be able to, I don't know, handle it in a way that's not toxic for the kid. But you've heard me say this before, and I forget what the expression is. A leopard doesn't change its spots or whatever, stripes.
God, I hate this so much. And you butcher it every time. Whatever it is. I know that's not the saying, but no, but here's the thing.
Word for it.
Here's the thing. kids in like a good, healthy relationship, like parents have a good relationship, are still somewhat damaged or bothered by something. So there's always going to be.
We all have damage in some way that comes from somewhere, but that doesn't help, you know?
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, so then I guess it's the classic thing of it's not black or white. So basically, it depends how it ended and who ended.
Yeah.
Now, if you were if he was a nice man and you had a great relationship and he ended it because he was just straight up like, listen, I'm no longer in love with you, and you were heartbroken by this, do you think that you would be happy for him?
Yes. I would be happy for him because I've been broken up with before by people who don't feel a connection, or we're just in two different places, or circumstances didn't line up, didn't work in our favor, and things ended. Even if I still had feelings for the person after that relationship ended, yeah, I have the maturity of being happy for that person, even though I didn't get in my way, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But it's funny, like I feel like the relationships that I look back on with the most bitterness are the shortest ones. Really? And I don't know. Yeah. It's the ones that have been like long term. Like I was in a relationship, not long term, but like I was in a relationship with somebody for 9 months, for a year, and the relationship just it ran its course. So, and we both ended things amicably. And he has a new girlfriend now, and I couldn't be happier for him. We still talk. Like I still talk to a couple of people I've dated just because I respect them and maybe just value them as people instead of somebody who I was intimate with at that moment. So I don't know. I mean, like you, for example, if you got married tomorrow, I'd be like, yes.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Congratulations.
That's funny because to me, I feel like if it's something that lasted 3 weeks, I'm even more detached of what happened to them.
No, not 3 weeks. I'm talking about like a couple of months.
Yeah.
3 weeks, I wouldn't really call that. That's just like you went on a few dates.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking of this one girl that I dated for about 6 months, and it was super casual. She was awesome. She was really cool. And I think I was just not in a headspace where I just wanted anything too serious. So I like keeping it casual. And it's one of those relationships, where it kind of slowly drifted apart. Like it goes from like texting every day to texting every 3 days to suddenly once a week to then not.
Yeah.
But we always stayed very friendly, and then after that, she ended up like moving back to her hometown because she got back. She was talking to her ex again, and then she actually ended up getting pregnant from her ex, and they ended up like whatever. And I was also super happy for her when she got pregnant. And didn't work out with her ex. Actually, she moved back here on her own. And I remember like I genuinely liked her as a person, and I was like, oh, she's struggling. She's alone with the baby. So I remember like just checking in once in a while. And now she's been in a relationship, I think, for a year with this guy who seems to love her daughter. And I couldn't be happier for her because she's a good person. So like even those type of relationships, 6 months of hanging out, I don't think I've ever had any, especially now, any like true bitterness for an ex.
Well, that's good. So it looks like you don't have to go to therapy for that.
No, I have to go to therapy for other stuff.
For other reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So I think we kind of answered the question, right?
Yeah. I mean, again, it's case by case.
Yeah.
But I do think if you've been fucked over, I could see how it's like just a little bit of like, yeah, you don't deserve it.
Yeah.
But I don't think the way you set it up at first, it sounded like it prevents you from sleeping at night, but I don't think that's the case.
God,
it's just like
no, it's just like,
but fuck it,
about it. And I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
That's kind of the reaction that I had. I'm like, really, he's having a baby in December. Like after I had, my baby in November, like what the fuck? You know what I mean?
No. Of course.
It's like a moment of happiness, like just that's mine. Anyway, so I know we had Do we have questions? We have questions, right?
Yeah, there's one for you actually.
I don't have the list.
There's one for you. It says, I will ask you the question. Okay. So this one's from Andrew. Jen, how did your relationship change from pre-pregnancy versus pregnancy versus post-pregnancy? Is there anything you wish you would have known going into it? Yes, you wish you would have known that coconut oil is very essential to the success of your relationship.
Can we stop using
jerking off your man who's been so good to you?
Can we just stop with the coconut oil? How did my relationship change from pre-pregnancy to pregnancy?
To post-pregnancy.
Okay. So pre-pregnancy, and it's funny because like Jared and I were just having this conversation a couple nights ago. Pre-pregnancy, I feel like we were in a good place. We were still, I would say, casually seeing each other. Like we had just made that jump into a committed relationship, maybe about, I don't know, a couple of months before. And I was always exclusive with him, but like this was like a okay, you're now my boyfriend. Like this is a committed relationship. A couple of months before I got pregnant. And I don't know. I mean, things happened very fast. We really had to evaluate like where the relationship was headed. We didn't have that much time, to be honest, to think about it. We took that trip to Cabo to decide, what we were going to do. And I thought to myself, like, this is somebody who I had always dreamed of being with. Mm-hmm. He's good to me. He has everything that I value in somebody else. So it got, I would say, exponentially more serious very quickly. I would say like, we were just, we were fun and sexual and all that stuff, like pre-pregnancy. And then during pregnancy, it was very emotional. I think we grew a lot closer during pregnancy. He saw me at my worst. Yeah, for sure. I mean, how many times did I fart in front of him? There were so many times.
That's one thing. And that's one thing with my girl. And God, I'm so happy she's like that, but I don't think she will ever fart in front of me.
Until you knock her up.
No. She can't. She physically can't.
But you physically will, Julien. You can't help it.
It's not in her. It's not in her behavior. She will. I'm pretty sure if she ever has to, she will leave my apartment to say that she needs to go for a walk and go fart outside. But she'll never do it.
They slip out. They slip out when you're laughing. They slip out when you're coughing. They slip out when you're just walking around.
Yeah, maybe you have a loose butthole. What can I say? What can I say?
Oh my God. How much you've made me mad at least 5 times. Like feeling mad during this podcast.
Yeah, because I'm in physical pain. And when I'm in physical pain, I want other people to have a shit day too.
And then after pregnancy, I would say we're getting back into a pre-pregnancy state. Like we're maybe more explorative sexually. Now we're like, I don't know. I feel like we can reconnect as a couple.
Yeah.
But it is different. I mean, it's different now. Like, we do have the baby and a lot of our time is spent on the baby.
Yeah.
But I think
overall, it seems like you went from like more of a, sensual, like pre-pregnancy was like sensual, fun. Pregnancy was like, okay, this is going to be darker. And because you guys made it through it, now you're back to fun, but it's so much deeper because you went through so much together that now it's like, it's stronger than before.
I would say it's even better now because, we have this bond.
Yeah.
And now we're getting our intimacy back. So I would say it's even better than it was when we first started out. It might've been new and novel and like, someone new at first, but we were also something during a pandemic. Like how normal can a relationship be under those circumstances?
You guys made it through that. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know if you got dolled up or get to make up for the podcast itself, but I think it's good because I keep hearing, and I know that happened to my father with his wife. Let's baby, like women tend to become mothers eventually and stop being women or wives or partner.
Yeah.
And as much as it sucks because guys, we understand where you're coming from, but there's still this like kind of physical attraction that we need in the sense of like, so the fact that I don't know, but the fact that you're still like kind of, getting dolled up or getting your nails done, I'm sure that's very appreciated by him because it's like
that. Like there were a few months, at the end of the pregnancy and then especially after that, I was walking around in yoga pants and dusters all day, like covered in baby puke, breast leaking, like,
No, I hear you. But also, no, I hear you because like we're not expecting you to be right back day 2. But I think like a month or 2 in, when you're like, okay, now it's time for me to like take care of myself again. You went to the gym and stuff, and that for sure is very attractive to him.
Yes. After you pass,
you for getting it done.
You start to feel better about yourself. Like you start to feel. I feel more like myself now than I have in months.
That's great.
So, yeah, we're taking advantage of that. All right, what's the next question?
I think it's me.
Question. Can I ask you? I'll ask you the question.
Yeah, sure.
Julian, is it easier or harder to pick up girls after telling them you're a model? That's a great question.
That's a great question. It's actually harder.
It's harder? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
First of all, I hate saying that I'm a model because I feel like that does not define me at all.
No, I would agree.
I am an actor who models on the side. Modeling has never been my career. It's never been something that I was motivated about. The only thing motivating about it is the moolah.
Yeah.
So that's it. It's like if I was getting paid $20 an hour modeling, I would not be modeling, even if it means I'm being on billboards. I was like, I don't want to do this. Right.
Right.
So and still now, it's still like just to make some money. So I wouldn't call myself a model. Yes, I have modeled a lot, but that's not what I'm doing.
Slash model? Is that what you
what?
Like slash model? Do you say a model? Okay.
Yeah. I'll be like, I'm an actor and I model on the side.
Yep.
Right?
Okay.
Because an actor, at least there's a craft to it. There's an actual passion there. I don't mind being defined as an actor because I genuinely love it. Like I still take classes. I was in class last night just because I just love doing it. But no, it's harder because. So I guess when you're a bit younger, it's fine. Just because it's like, oh yeah, he's a model, he's doing this, blah, blah, blah. Sure. But like everybody has like their own idea of what you are. And like if you're a model, automatically all you eat is salads. All you do is work out and look at yourself. That's pretty much the three things. And you're dumb as hell, right?
Yeah. Vain and
dumb as hell.
Probably a little insecure and just way too focused on the physical.
Yeah. And listen, I've met some guy and girl model that are, very pretty and good looking, and they're not like that. They're all very business oriented and they're all very smart. But I had definitely met some guy models that are dumb, and I've met some girl models that are obsessed about taking pictures. I always remember this. I was in Tulum shooting for this sunscreen company, and I was one guy with 3 girls. And there was one girl who is now quite a big model. She's very successful, this Japanese girl. Cool as shit. She would get the pictures and then just go hang out, and then at night like sip whiskey with the photographer and I am just like cracking jokes. And there was this other one who you could tell is had a little bit of success but was dying a little bit, and she's just like not. I mean, I guess whatever. I guess she works, but not as much as what she wanted.
She's in the sunset of her career. Is what you're saying?
Huh?
In the sunset of her career.
Yeah, I guess so. Or just like not as much, not as demanded as you would want. And after 2 days of shooting for 2 days in Tulum, we had like half a day off. So everybody was like, oh, let's go. There's like a cenotes. Let's go hang out. Let's go eat something. Let's go like not shoot. And she went up to the photographer and she's like, can we go shoot on the beach? And I was just like, ew.
Yeah.
Ew. You've been doing this for 2 days shooting. Like you need more pictures of you in your bikini and taking selfies in between sets. And that was just disgusting. So, yeah. So to me, like, I don't think it hasn't helped one bit, because especially in a place like LA where a lot of people are good looking and a lot of people are vain, when somebody knows that I'm modeling, they're kind of like, oh God, he's a model. He's for sure like this. But then when they start to speak to me, they're like, oh, okay. Oh no, he's not like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the last point I'll make about that is like everybody in LA is a model.
I know.
Yeah, I'm a model. Like you see them on Instagram, they look like shit and they have fashion model in their bio.
Right.
Like I don't know what fashion model you are, but it's not the same fashion. And I think that's one of the reasons why people also have like, because I have the same thing when a girl says I'm a model and I don't think she looks like a model, I'll be like, are you an Instagram model? Because like, you know, like, what is this?
Yeah.
But the attitude changes definitely. Like if somebody knows I'm a model, they assume I'm some type of loser. But then when they figure out that I've done quite some big jobs and then I've, you know, done some solid modeling jobs, they'll be like, oh shit, oh no, okay, he's actually like,
yeah.
So that also changes, right?
Yep.
So
I was on a kick where I dated. This is right after my divorce. I moved to New York and started dating just like every model that you could think of. Eastern European models, Brazilian models. Like I was on a fucking tear, and they were all the same. All of them. And that's why like it turned me off from models forever, because I was like, there's like nothing behind the face. Like there's nothing that I can actually connect to.
Yeah.
You look good with your clothes off, but outside of that, I don't know to me, there's like just no appeal.
Yeah. So answer that question is, I guess it was a little bit harder. It doesn't help that people know you're a model.
No, I would deliberately stay away from toward the end of, whenever I was on the dating apps, I would stay away from men who describe themselves as models.
Yeah.
Or if they were clearly like modeling photos of them in their profile, I'd be like, oof.
Yeah, that's a big no-no.
This is from Cindy.
How do you begin a conversation with someone you're casually dating about defining the relationship? I think we've talked about this.
We have talked about it. Before. There's no easy way of doing it.
Oh, but no, because she says about defining, not about making it not about making it official being a relationship. It's like, how do you start a conversation so you have an understanding of where you guys are standing?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like where are we, or what are we kind of conversation, right?
I feel like I would be more direct and you'd probably have like some weird like test that you would do. In a sense, I'm gonna say this, and if his answer is this, then that means that.
I'm too old for tests.
Okay.
In the last couple situations I've been in, I've been very direct. I've said, so, you know, I like you a lot. But I kind of want to know where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
And usually I would get a straight up answer. Like, so some guys would say, well, yeah, I see a future in this, so let's just keep it going. And some guys that I've been with have said, I'm not in the headspace for a relationship right now. So you know that information now. Do with it what you will.
Yeah.
And then I would be like, well, this isn't for me. Sorry. And it was fine. The worst thing you can do, I think, is lead someone on to believe that there's something bigger in the future when there's not. So yeah, I mean.
Yeah, but not everybody. Sometimes I think not everybody. First of all, I don't work well under pressure at all.
So when somebody starts to put definitions or parameters up, it
as much as I can like the person, it kind of automatically makes me shut down.
Yeah,
I don't like the pressure. I feel like we have so much pressure on our daily life when it comes to work, making money, paying rent, and all that stuff that I don't want my relationship to be something else that I have to think of.
Sure, but you have to be accountable for other people's feelings too.
Of course. But like that also, to me, that also comes from being, like letting them know by your action where you stand. I feel like I feel like, for example, with my girlfriend right now, I feel like she's never had to doubt where we were standing. We never had a conversation about where we were at, and it naturally progressed. And simply because I never had to doubt where she was standing, and I'm pretty sure she never had to doubt. As much as I'm not the most expressive person, when it comes to my actions, they're there.
Yeah, but when it works, right? Like both of you on the same page. So you don't really have to ask, and that's the beauty of that's the beauty of relationships, like or when it really matches up, is you don't have to have those conversations. Like, the people, one person isn't constantly wondering what headspace the other person's in, because you're very much in sync in how you feel about each other, and it's very much equal and balanced.
Yeah. So I guess the answer to that question is like, just kind of ask.
Just ask. Just go for it.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, if you don't get the answer you wanted, it's going to serve you for the better. Be like, okay, well, great. I'm glad I dodged that bullet. So it's kind of like, just say, hey, I just want to know where you stand, right? But I do feel like it's better to say, hey, I just want to know, like, where do you stand? Where do you think we're at? Is stronger than saying, hey, where do you stand? Because this is what I want, and I want to be in a relationship with you, and like this. Because automatically, especially if you are a woman, saying that to a guy, we're like, oh fuck, things were going great. I'm so confused. Like, now that's not enough. I got to do more. No, I don't think I can do more. That's so much, right? We're kind of dumb. So like, if you forced us to do something, we don't want to do it.
I think it's just like, sack up. Like, if you don't want to be in a relationship, then say, I don't want to be in a relationship right now, and just be honest with the other person, and that's it. Go your separate way.
That's not the question. That's not her question. Her question is not like if you want to be in a relationship.
Yeah, but I'm talking
if you want to know where you stand, then just ask where you stand. And if you are looking for a relationship in the future with this person, ask where you stand. But I personally wouldn't come right off the gate saying, where do we stand? Because I want to be in a relationship with you. I want to be serious and stuff. Hear where he stands. If you like where he stands, if he's like, oh, well, I mean, I love what we're doing. I think this is awesome. And, who knows what it brings. I would take that, because there's a big chance that it would just naturally grow into a relationship.
Yeah.
If you basically think about tricking us. You got to trick us into getting into the relationship. As much we might want to be in a relationship, but as soon as we feel that pressure of, oh, this is what we got to do, we're already doing it. It's just now you're making it so we're so aware of it that it's like, oh, fuck, we might take a step back.
There's always a reason that somebody asked that question in the first place, and it comes from a place of insecurity, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, also, if you have to ask where you're standing, it means that you're getting mixed signals.
Thank you. Exactly. That's all I was saying.
So ask. Just ask. We have one more? Yeah, we have time for one more.
Okay.
You read it.
This is from Angie. The guy I'm seeing now is great, but we fight a lot for it being so new between us. Most of it's cultural nuance and miscommunication that's quickly resolved in discussions that I think are really healthy. And the fights never truly get heated at this point, but it's still worrying me because I don't want a relationship that I'll always be fighting in. Are these disagreements just growing pains, or do you think they're red flags? Great question.
That's awesome. That's a good one.
Ooh, I've been on the side of both. I mean, I would say every relationship that I've been in that's turned out to be toxic. Yes, there's definite evidence from the beginning that things aren't going to go in the right direction. Like Jared and I, for example, I would like to think we have a very happy, successful, thriving relationship. We didn't have our first fight until like 6 months in. And it wasn't even like a big one. The ex that I lived with for 2 years, who was extremely abusive, we would fight from the jump, like probably at least once a week about something. So yes, I would say those are definite red flags. And personally, I wouldn't stick around for what's ahead, because I don't think it's anything good.
Yeah, but there's those two words to me that are important: cultural nuances and miscommunication.
Okay.
So, if she's American and she's dating somebody from the Middle East, there's going to be a culture difference that needs to be explained. Just like from me being French, there's culture differences in my relationship, and they need to be talked. So I'm not really laying towards the I need to end this, because if they're good, but their issues is strictly due to a cultural differences, I think you you end this relationship if none of you are willing to make an effort to understand. Like if you want to be, well, this is why I was raised and this is what I know and that's it. That's what you get. Then yeah, end it. But if both of you are able and open to learn about this culture and figure out how they do things and see if it works for you and both take a step towards each other's culture, I actually think it could be very, very enriching. But it takes groundworks, which is what they're doing, which is establishing their boundaries and establishing all these differences to know, right? So that if he says something that to him is totally normal in his culture and she gets offended by it, they talk about it. And now he knows that, you know, he shouldn't say that. And then she knows that when he says something like that, it means this, right?
As long as it leads to a productive conversation and the arguments are de-escalated pretty quickly. Like if you're not coming to some kind of solution when you're having these fights, then yeah, that's a red flag. But if they lead to productive conversations and you use that in the future, then those are just building blocks.
I think so. I think like if it's fairly new, it's too early to end it. And I don't think it's a red flag yet. I think it's like you just have more work to do because you're dating somebody that's from a different culture. So you have different values. So build on that, explore what their values are. And then down the line, maybe 2-3 months from now, 3-6 months, if it keeps happening and you realize your values are too different, that's when you leave. But you could still be with somebody that have totally different cultures, just depending on how open-minded you are. I actually think it's awesome to date a different culture because you're learning so much.
Yeah.
But it's so much easier to date someone of the same culture because you don't have to make an effort. You guys are all on the same page. That's why, like, you know, that's why Muslims marry Muslim, Jewish people marry Jewish people. And just because it's like, we already know how the family's going to be. We already know every Friday we're doing this. We already know. It's so much easier than learning.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's differences even between the same culture. I mean, there could be differences of family values, whatever, religious beliefs, cultural differences. That's even more complicated. But if like we said, if you can resolve it in a productive way, then it can be a good thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Then it is growing pains. But if it turns into something that's like nasty and hurtful, just for the sake of being hurtful, just for the sake of hurting each other.
Yeah. I don't think that's what she meant.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome. Well, great. I'm going to go to a chiropractor now.
Okay, you go do that. I'm going to go water my plant.
Your baby.
As usual, if you have any burning questions
send them our way.
Send them our way.
Awesome.
DM the shit out of us.
Yeah.
And we'll read the questions on the next episode of X Appeal.
Perfect. Sounds good. Well, we'll see you next week.
A Huda Media Production.